Good afternoon, everybody. Happy Thursday to you, October 16th, 2025. I got all your stories for your rush hour ride home. And the clock is ticking on Blake Lively to release the evidence, the audio of Steve Sarowitz illegally being recorded. We're going to dive into the betting that's going on the internet. Will they release it today, tomorrow? Will it be a Friday afternoon dump? We'll talk about what this audio might sound like and what it means for both sides. Also, Simone Biles, All-American Olympian, announces an augmentation to the old trophy case. We'll get into that. And then Britney Spears claps back as her ex-husband, Kevin Federline, does a tell-all book. A real kind of sick scenario, another chapter in the Britney Spears story, but she's taking the high road, I guess. Good for her. Then Stephen A. Smith doesn't take the high road. He walks off stage at an event after calling out all of the rich people in Washington, all of the politicians that are letting this shutdown happen as air traffic controllers continue to work Grubhub. So we'll get into that, and then more conversations on ICE wrongfully detaining a clarinetist from a band in Portland. That's right. They're coming after the woodwinds, folks. As a fellow saxophonist, us reed instruments need to stick together. So we got all these stories and more, and it all starts right now on The Rush. So we've talked about this for a few days. I'm not trying to make this sound interesting to you. It's just interesting to me. This is the judge ruling that they're going to have to release the evidence being this illegal audio that was recorded of Steve Sarowitz talking to his essentially employee. They were shooting a movie called, what is it, The Empire's Waste or whatever, with Claire Ayub. And Claire Ayub recorded the conversation, and then somehow it made its way into Blake Lively's hands. We don't know how, but assuming it was, she found Blake and sent it to Blake to add to her, I guess, stockpile, her arcade of evidence that was supposed to be used against Baldoni. Well, the judge says we need to make this thing public. But here's the interesting part. As the time ticks down, the parties are directed to file a joint letter by October 17th, updating the court with respect to those efforts. Now, if I check the date today, today's the 16th. So they've got till tomorrow, not to necessarily upload the audio, but they've got till tomorrow to figure out how they're going to do that. So I guess they're going to discuss it with each other. I don't understand. You know what I mean? You could literally put it on an Instagram file. Not that they're going to put it on Instagram, but any public Dropbox link, a website, whatstevesaid.com. I don't know. Put it out there online. Now, will the audiences, absolutely go nuts over this? Yes. It's going to be like throwing chum in shark-infested waters. But that's the beauty of the court system, is that there is a public interest here. Essentially, Justin Baldoni will never work again unless he can, and again, it should be innocent till proven guilty, but as we know, he will not work again in Hollywood unless he can fully vindicate himself. Now, why would an audio recording of Steve Sarowitz, who is the billionaire backer for Wayfair Studios, why would an audio recording of Justin Baldoni's coworker vindicate Justin? Well, this audio has been pitched by Blake's side as being extremely threatening of Steve to Blake. Now, you might say, well, then why is this good for Justin? It is, in my humble opinion, after having covered this for a little bit here, that the fact that Blake Lively's side hasn't already leaked this audio means that it's a nothing burger. And again, I don't know. We haven't seen the transcript, but it is of my opinion, and I'm ready to change my opinion with new information, but it's my opinion that it's a nothing burger. Now, if it is a nothing burger, then what does that mean? Well, it means Blake Lively bent the truth, stretched it into a place where she could play the victim. And if she's doing that with an audio file, did she do that with the director? Once a liar, always a liar. That might not be something that holds up in court, but in the world of public opinion, if you lose all credibility and, cry wolf, then no one's going to believe you. And I'm not saying that that's what happened here. I'm just saying I find it hard to believe that Blake Lively held off releasing this audio if it was as juicy as she claimed it would be. So the over-under of Claire Ayub's recording of Steve Sarowitz released by 6 p.m. tonight. What do you guys think? Leave a comment. Let me know. Do you think it will be released tonight? People say, will they release it in New York Times or People Magazine or TMZ? Wayfair, could they release it through Daily Mail or a content creator or lawsuitinfo.com? Honestly, I've got no idea. But the fact that they can't upload it through the court system is hilarious. And it just goes to show how, you could take an intern at any tech company and they could develop a probably perfectly functional court system record keeping with the internet's age. Now, I understand, they got to do sort of like hard records, for a lot of reasons, but we'll have to see. Comments, someone said, my guess is that Hudson and Manat, which are Blake Lively's attorneys, are dragging their feet and being a-holes about this to the Wayfair attorneys because they didn't want to release it at all. They're trying to pull shady, slimy things last minute and will possibly do something like releasing it, but including something else unrelated that they think is damaging to Justin. Yeah, that's that old PR adage where, you either release something on a Friday night, that's always the best time to do it, especially before a long weekend, or you release it with something else that might be really damning. Now, does Blake Lively have any arrows left in the quiver? Is that a term? I don't think so. Does she have any? I didn't want to say bullets in the chamber because I don't like the gun reference. It's a metaphor. But does she have any pitches left to offer here in the ninth inning of her pretrial court case? Again, I'm out of metaphors. Does Blake Lively have any more crayons in the crayon box to color this case with? We'll have to see. I like that one. That's good. My guess is she's already exhausted whatever evidence she thought she had. We had fake HR complaints. You guys might remember that, right? We had a fake HR complaint that one quack psychologist leaked to, I think, Zach and Donna, right? Aren't they the ones who aired that fake HR complaint? And then people said this isn't real. And I don't have an opinion on whether they should have aired it or not. I don't see why not. It's like, it's in the stage now. If there's fake evidence that someone's trying to plant, put it out there. Let's debunk it. And then let's follow why someone would have aired that fake evidence. Why did this psychologist have fake HR complaints? Where did she get those fake HR complaints from? I'd like to know. If a psychologist made up fake HR complaints, take away their license. I'm sorry, you're batshit fucking crazy. If they were a pawn used by somebody else, a useful idiot, then who? Now, this is, again, stuff that's probably not going to play out in the court system, but this is what we want to know. Who's doing dirty behind the scenes and won't wear it with their chest? If you are not willing to wear something on your chest and speak it loud and proud, it's bullshit. And if Blake Lively doesn't stand by this audio, but wanted to cherry pick quotes from it, it's bullshit. So we'll have to see how that all plays out. I got Britney Spears coming up. I've got a lot of drama in the political landscape to talk about. So stick around. These stories and more coming next. Fall is here, and with it comes the back-to-school rush. Early morning drop-offs, after-school activities, football games, and those last-minute supply runs. Let's not forget the extra trips for groceries, coffee, and gas as the days get busier. All of that adds up, and it adds up fast. Well, we got you covered with the free Upside app. It's an easy way to earn real cash back every time you fill up your tank. Grab a bite to eat or stock up on essentials. Whether you're driving across town for a soccer game or picking up snacks for the school lunchbox, Upside helps you keep more money in your pocket. In fact, Upside has given back $1 billion to its users. Yeah, billion with a B. That's real cash back. No confusing rewards, points, or credits. Actual money you can transfer straight to your bank account, with $1 million cash back is earned by its users every single week. So that's right. They're not only giving $1 billion cash back, but you can find out how much you could earn by downloading the free Upside app and use promo code RUSHHOUR to get an extra 25 cents back for every gallon on your first tank of gas. That's an extra 25 cents back for every gallon on your first tank of gas using promo code RUSHHOUR. Today's episode is sponsored by Mint Mobile. If you're still overpaying for wireless, it's time to say yes to saying no. At Mint Mobile, their favorite word is no. No contracts, no monthly bills, no overages, no hidden fees, no BS. That's why I said yes to making the switch and getting premium wireless for just $15 a month. So ditch those overpriced wireless plans. All Mint Mobile plans come with high-speed data and unlimited talk and text delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. Use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and bring your phone number along with all your existing contacts. Ready to say yes to saying no? Make the switch at mintmobile.com/TRH. That's mintmobile.com/TRH. Upfront payment of $45 required, equivalent to $15 a month. Limited time new customer offer for first 3 months only. Speeds may slow above 35 gigabytes on unlimited plan. Taxes and fees extra. See Mint Mobile for details. Well, K-Fed, Kevin Federline, there's a name we don't hear too often, claims Britney Spears did cocaine during her breastfeeding phase. Now, I'm no expert, but you shouldn't be doing coke if you're breastfeeding. I think you have to be light on the caffeine. I mean, it really doesn't sound like too much fun, although there's a bond. You release oxytocin, whatever. Breastfeeding, trust me when I say breastfeeding is a miracle. It's insane. Did you know that if your kid's sick or needs certain nutritional value, that your breast milk will sort of adjust its formula to reach the kid? If someone coughs near you, you just start shooting antibodies out to it's amazing. Does that mean the kid gets coked up though? You know that this is a true story. I'm making light of it, but this is a true story. If Britney's children started pitching their business ideas, it's a cocaine joke. It's a stupid one. All right, but either way, now that would be terrible. That would be terrible if she was doing it. But also, why the hell do we need to know this as a public, right? Why do we need to know this? Britney Spears responded, "The constant gaslighting from ex-husband is extremely hurtful and exhausting." And just for the record, I'm team Britney. Do I think Britney is of perfect and sound mental health? No, not whatsoever. But do I think it's a result of family, lecherous agents, and people milking her? That maybe milking's a wrong term for this specific conversation, but do I think that she was exposed to a form of fame that people didn't even know how to deal with back then? Absolutely. I've always pleaded and screamed to have a life with my boys. Relationships with teenage boys is complex. I have felt demoralized by this situation, and I've always asked and almost begged for them to be a part of my life. My guess is the older her children get, they're going to realize that Britney Spears is a victim here. She is an absolute victim to society, to the paparazzi, to the fame and all the things that come with it. She was never able to even develop her brain fully before she was thrown into this crazy, crazy world. Sadly, they have always witnessed the lack of respect shown by own father for me. They need to take responsibility for themselves. With one son only seeing me for 45 minutes in the past 5 years, and the other with only 4 visits in the past 5 years. I have pride too. From now on, I will let them know when I am available. Trust me, those white lies in that book, they are going straight to the bank, and I am the only one who genuinely gets hurt here. I will always love them, and if you really know me, you won't pay attention to the tabloids of my mental health and drinking. I'm actually a pretty intelligent woman who has been trying to live a sacred and private life the past 5 years. I speak on this because I have had enough, and any real woman would do the same. Yeah. Team Britney. Again, do I think she needs to be under conservatorship? No. But do I hope she has good people around her that are helping her make decisions in life? Absolutely. Because, sadly, they wrecked her. They wrecked her in one way or another. Nicki Minaj, sticking by Britney Spears, says, K-Fed's a bitch. I got your back, Britney. Yeah, nothing else there. K-Fed's a bitch. And look, why? I mean, he was already a professional husband, right? He already got paid a whole bunch of money, child support. You may argue that that's fair, whatever, but come on, what good does it do to publicly talk about how you guys banged on the first night? She did cocaine. I mean, first of all, Britney Spears isn't having any kids anytime soon, as far as I know. So if she was a bad mom when her kids were young, what good does it do to reveal that to the public right now? Just a thought. All right, you want some good news? A Milwaukee Brewers fan has been fired after heckling a Dodgers fan and said, "We're going to call ICE." I'm going to play the clip for you, and then we'll talk about it.
What is the Oh, why is everybody quiet? What is this? I'm sorry.
You know what? Let's call ICE.
Call ICE. Call ICE.
She said, "You know what? Let's go call ICE." Now, I'll say this. I think it's so annoying when there are fan bases. I had a buddy who would do this. I had a buddy who, whenever our team scored a run, he would turn around and heckle the other team's fans. When we were in opposing, we were Red Sox fans at Yankee Stadium, and the ushers had to wait till the game was over and let everyone else leave before they let us leave, just because they didn't want us mixing with the fans because the fans hated us so much. You don't want to be that person. Maybe this Dodgers fan was heckling them. Either way, regardless of what he said, the fact that these Brewers fans says, "Let's call ICE," sorry, you got to deal with the consequences of those actions. The Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel stated on Wednesday, Shannon Koblarczyk, What is that, a Polish name? Shannon's employer, Manpower Group, parted ways with the woman after she was seen on video making the comment to Ricardo Fasado during Tuesday's Game 2 of the National League Championship Series at American Family Field. Well, okay, so this Dodgers fan was in Milwaukee. Again, it doesn't mean you're allowed to say call ice. You're basically saying that's bad. It's bad. You know, I wouldn't want her working for my company either. She resigned from the Make-A-Wish Wisconsin Board of Directors after the incident. The viral situation occurred in the 7th inning of the Dodgers' win over the Brewers after Fasado had gloated about his favorite team taking a 4-1 lead. Listen, you don't like another team shit-talking you. You just gotta take it. You know, you got to take it. What are you stooping to that? And I don't even want to say stooping to that level, because clearly she stooped to a lower level. And look at that face. There she is. Make a wish. Well, apparently someone's wish was to get her fired, because they delivered on that one. Here's a sad story. Italian model stabbed to death on balcony. Ex-boyfriend arrested at the scene. I don't even want to get into the gory details, but apparently neighbors heard screaming for help, and when they arrived, the boyfriend was standing over her body, and it's just a terrible story. You know, dozens of stab wounds. Pamela Giannini killed Tuesday. Local newspaper Il Fatto Quotidiano reports. Neighbors tried to break in, and they tried to help. The boyfriend was much older. The boyfriend was 52. Again, it looks like a pretty open and shut case on that one. Real sad stuff right there. So before we get to some political updates, how about this one? Simone Biles adds some hardware, or should I say software, pardon me, folks, we're having fun, to her trophy case, announces she's got a new rack. She's got boobs. Here she is.
So I actually haven't flipped in a year.
So for those listening to the audio only, she says she hasn't flipped in a year. She's on her home trampoline, which, by the way, unless you're an Olympian, don't get a trampoline. Your kid's going to break an arm. There's literally nothing that comes from... Everybody I know that owns a trampoline has to deal with broken limbs. Not on my watch. Either way, she wrote in the text of this Instagram, first flip in a year at the new house with new, and then she used the cherry emojis. I'm assuming I'm an old millennial. I'm not up to date on all the emoji language, but I'm assuming cherry emoji in this case means breast augmentation. I don't know if that's a clinical term or whatnot, but I think it's an assumption we can get by. So there she is, flipping up and down. She does her first flips, which I'm surprised, because I thought Simone Biles was going to be in the Olympics again. She would be ancient. She's like 1,000 years old as far as Olympians go. But I think she could still do it, right? But again, I guess, I don't know, maybe my gymnast could answer the question there. Can you be an Olympic gymnast with fake boobs? I mean, I can't imagine that would help on the balance bar. Maybe it would. What do I know? You know what I mean? Maybe that's the secret to a perfect 10 is, a little extra leverage on the top side. What do I know? Who cares? Everyone live your life. All right. Well, that's it for the first half. Coming up next, we got more information on ice. Clarinetist arrested. We've got updates on some new monuments being built in Washington. Listen, the government shut down. ICE employees are not getting paid. Is this what they signed up for? All these stories and more coming up next.